Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Levinson and Associates training webinar series. So we haven't been on in a couple weeks now because of Thanksgiving. And speaking of that, I hope everyone enjoyed and had a great, safe holiday. I'm sure most of us probably had Thanksgiving dinner outside, which is okay. Um, with that said, we have a lot going on here at Levinson, and I'm so excited to share all of some of the new technology, the new tools, lead programs, basically everything that you need to get your foot in the door, especially in the senior market with final expense sales. So great stuff. We were featured in Insurance Newsnet magazine in the December issue. So you'll see us in there, and we're talking all about the final expense experience platform. So really cool stuff. We have a great guest speaker on with us. Anna is joining us, and she's going to jump on in a few minutes and talk about our new quoting and underwriting software tool that's available for free for you all. As long as you're active with at least one carrier with Levinson, you get access to everything that you're about to see within the next 45 to 60 minutes. So great stuff to come. Make sure you're jotting down notes, questions. We want to hear from you. Use that question box in the bottom right corner. Joe's going to do his best to answer all of you in real time. If we don't get to you right away, that means that we're getting bogged down, and we will answer everyone by the time we finish up. Plus, we're going to send out a thank you email to everyone that's on the call today. You'll have an email in your inbox before the day is up, and we'll include a lot of these brochures and links so you can get access to everything you're about to witness. So if you don't get that email, by the way, let's say by 10, 11 o'clock tonight, that means it's probably in your spam folder, or we have your incorrect email address. So just pick up the phone and call us. Tell us what the correct email address is. Okay, we're also going to have our question of the day. So right before we wrap up at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to ask a question that has to do with some of the slides we're touching on today. And whoever answers first and correctly wins the Amazon $50 gift card or the new Amazon Echo, your choice. Okay, I just got a shipment of the Echoes in just in time for the holidays. So you pick, you decide, but you have to answer first. Okay, what you're looking at in front of you is the latest Insurance Newsnet article that we were featured in. And basically, it's talking all about the new lead program, the new software that we're rolling out, and all of the other bells and whistles that come with the final expense experience platform. So what I also want to do real quick is just show everyone. We got a bunch of emails and calls, and agents are saying, hey, I want to participate, and, what carriers do you have? And they seem to think we have like 3 or 4 final expense carriers. Well, the truth is we have 20 final expense carriers and guaranteed issue, 20 guaranteed issue and final expense carriers to choose from with this platform, okay? And this is one of my favorite parts here. If you look at the red asterisk, so those carriers and products come with the free scholarship program. So it's 1 year free scholarship for your clients' children or grandchildren, okay? And there's no small print. If you're a Levinson agent, you're enrolled in the program, it's free. You can offer this to every single policy holder in the past or anyone that you write now and moving forward. Okay, and it's really neat. They have like an online checking account, but they go in and check their points. They go in and check what schools are part of the SAGE scholarship program. They can also send you referrals, and they can also sit down with you for an annual policy review. These days it's over the phone, and they get another $500 in points or credits, which basically is another $500 scholarship. Okay, it's that simple. We have over 400 colleges in the program now, but make sure you take note for any of those carriers that have the red asterisk, even on the guaranteed issue side. So the left side is all guaranteed issue. Right side is all typical final expense, immediate and graded. You choose. We have all of the top products that are literally available today. There's nothing better out there. You're not going to find a better price product or more value add or better underwriting. Okay. And if some new carrier comes out that's so great, please let us know, because we will take out an IMO direct contract and offer it to you all. Okay, but as far as I know right now, these are the top carriers, and you should have everything that you need with our portfolio of products and carriers. So that's simple. What I also want to say is right now, obviously, we're doing most of the selling over the phone and online. Okay, and especially this is pretty cool with Gerber, top left corner. So they have a direct-to-consumer platform available on Insure Me Now Direct, which is available free to all Levinson agents. And this is cool because your client can go on your website, run a quote, and apply and get approved instantly online while you're sleeping, okay, and print and save the policy. I mean, and they're done and you're done. You wake up in the morning and you get a commission. We are the only IMO that has access to this direct-to-consumer platform with Gerber. So take advantage of that. Even if, let's say, you're calling the leads, right, and you have a hot prospect on the phone and you run a quote, let's say with Gerber, and they say, you know, Bill, I want to do this. Okay, you say, great, go to BillLevinson.com. You can click on Gerber and just click on e-application and walk them through the process. 7 minutes or less, they're done. Approval, policy's there, done. Move on to the next lead. It's that simple. So run with this stuff, folks. I'm telling you. And let me also say, too, speaking of, you know, this pandemic and selling online and over the phone, I heard something really, really interesting, and I shared this with our team, okay? And I think it's important. Just a cute little analogy. You know, you look at what's going on in 2020, and yes, it's very, very challenging times, and it's very easy, right, to get depressed or harden up and start to say to yourself, oh, you know what? 2020 is basically down the tubes and it's not getting any better, and I'm just going to wait till January 1st of 21 and hopefully things change. Okay, but guess what? Your competitors, right, the other agents out there, some of them are even doubling or tripling their sales and premium during this pandemic. Okay, so you have to be positive and keep your foot on the gas. And it doesn't matter, you know, let's say Anna from the technology side, or let's say we have Bob is on the phone today and he's a CPA or financial planner or an estate planning attorney. Whatever the case is, this is a fact for everyone, right? And I think about this, and this is what I heard. I think it makes complete sense, right? You look at a carrot, right, an egg, and a coffee bean, right? And you say, okay, Bill, which one do I want to be during 2020, right? With all this crap going on around us, do I want to be the coffee bean, carrot, or egg? Okay, so we don't want to be the carrot. Why? Because when a carrot is put into hot water, it softens. And we don't want to look at this year and soften up and say, oh, you know, I'm just going to sit back and relax and maybe I'll just watch a great Netflix documentary and a good show and a good series or whatever it is. No, we don't want to be a carrot and soften up. Do we want to be the egg? The answer is no, we don't want to be the egg, because the egg hits hot water and it hardens up, okay? And we certainly don't want to harden up during these times, right? We all want to be the coffee bean. Why the coffee bean, okay? The coffee bean, when put into hot water, transforms the water into coffee, okay? That's simple. We want to be the coffee bean and transform and pivot and put our foot not only on the gas, but put it down harder, mash the gas pedal. Now is the time to change, pivot, adapt to this new world, right? And get scrappy. So be the coffee bean and transform 2020 and learn about some of this new technology and drop tickets and e-applications and Insure Me Now Direct. Because let's face it, you're going to be selling over the phone and online for a while, right? This vaccine, it looks like just got approved, but by the time it hits the masses, this could be another 6 months, right? Hopefully it's sooner. but things might not change for a while, and we have to transform, adapt, and pivot and be the coffee bean, right? So, anyway, I hope you wrote that down and remember that when things get a little tough, okay? And I think that was a really good way to put it, and I thought it was a great story to share. So, let's move forward here real quick. What I want to talk about now is our brand new, very innovative final expense quoting and underwriting tool. So this is going to be available on your smartphone. We'll have it on the Levinson free app, okay, also through our website. And what I want to do now, I don't want to steal any of her thunder, but we have Anna Patrick on. She's in charge of business development. She's going to dive in a little deeper and show you all what you have free access to as a Levinson agent. Anna, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I love your analogy there with the coffee bean because I do have to drink my morning cup of coffee every single day. So I do like that.
Me too. Starbucks, Anna. Me too.
Well, I appreciate everyone for being on this call and having the opportunity to speak with you all and walk you through the new final expense quoting tool. The agents that I work with on a day-to-day basis just find this tool to be so helpful for them. It really helps you streamline your business and eliminate all of the extra work that you have to do. So imagine the days of having to flip through rate guides and do manual calculations, going to each carrier website and checking a rate. That can take a lot of time. And what this tool does is it captures all of the rate data for you for all carriers and gives you one view of all of it. So when you sign into the quoting tool, you'll see in your tools just being able to run the final expense quote. I will mention down here on the bottom left corner is your contact support button. So if you do have any questions about maybe the rate information that you're seeing or just need some clarification on anything, when you submit this message, this goes to Levinson so they can answer the question for you. And if we need to step in and provide some assistance, we absolutely can do that. So you do have that option there, but let's go ahead and start running the final expense quote. So the first thing that you have to do is enter in an individual zip code. So pretty simple there, just entering that zip code in the upper right-hand corner. It will populate the city and the state. So you can just confirm that location is accurate. And then from there, you can start adjusting the demographics of the individual that you would like to quote. So whether they're 65, under age 65, over age 65, you can run any age and then select their gender, their tobacco status, and then the face value that they're looking for. So it's going to default to 10,000. But if you wanted to select a different amount, you can absolutely do so. You can type it in or you can select it with the arrows. You can also select a product type. So we have several different product types from level to graded, modified, return of premium, single pay. You can also use the all feature that would bring in all types of plans for you if you're unsure which one that you would like to go with. For the underwriting type, there's two options. I'll kind of explain this. One is full, the other is guarantee. Full could also mean simplified underwriting. So any application that is going to have any type of health questions is going to be considered full in our system. And then, of course, guarantee issue is an automatic acceptance. What I like the most, and I see a lot of agents using this feature, is the monthly rate. So a lot of individuals have a monthly budget, especially for their healthcare, their life insurance, final expense, and they may say, I would really like a final expense plan, but based upon my budget, I only have $50 a month that I can allocate towards the plan. What can you provide me? So you can simply just type in $50 here and it will pull up any plans. It will vary based upon face value and product type that would match their budget. So I'm going to just show you what a $10,000 quote is. I can just do all product types here. I'll go ahead and do the full underwriting. Client label, this is if you wanted to put the client's name there, you could stick that in there as well. So from there, all you have to do is hit Get Quote, and then it's going to pull up all the available carriers that you are able to write with. So you can see here, as I scroll through this, there are a lot of carriers that are on here. You'll see some initial information about this particular company. So if there's any annual fees, what those are, the plan type, if this company participates in an AM Best or S&P rating, we supply those. We also have how many years the company has been in the market, if that's information that is available to us. You can quickly see the quote information at the top automatically carries over. So if you did notice that you didn't different age, or you want to easily switch the face value, you can make any adjustments right up here at the top. You don't have to go back and rerun the quote. So that can save you a lot of time as well. Over on the left-hand side, underneath our Adjust Views, you can see here we automatically have all the annual fees that are applied to that monthly rate. So you can see here with that asterisk, that means that annual fee has been applied. So that will always automatically quote for that. If for whatever reason you want to uncheck that to see it without the annual fees, you can uncheck mark that. The expand quotes just kind of makes it into a kind of combines that information, so you could easily scroll through and see the different plans. For each of these, underneath the quote options, we do have kind of a view plan details. Some of these carriers will also have a link to that carrier's website as well. Now, one of the features that I find a lot of agents get a lot of use out of, I will show you this monthly rate too. So if you wanted to switch it from a monthly rate to a quarterly, semi, or annual rate, you can view those rates by the different payment types as well. We have the application health questions in here. So especially if an individual is going through underwriting and they have a certain health condition, and you want to know if that health condition is going to appear on the application or come up. So you can select that health condition, and then over on here it will tell you if it's on the application, and if it is, what the look back period is. So for foresters, that certain condition is not going to come up on the application. You can see for the Living Promise, United of Omaha, Mutual of Omaha's plan, they have a 2-year look back period. So that can really help you understand if your individual is going to be able to pass underwriting. You can select multiple different conditions on here as well. So you can start comparing some of these different conditions. So you can put, I think, up to 5 different conditions in there just to see whether they're on that application or not. So pretty simple and easy to do. Just click and unclick the ones that you want to show. I'm going to quickly here show you a couple of different ways in which you can use this quoting feature. Again, I want to show you what this monthly rate looks like too. Again, I find a lot of agents get a lot of use out of it. So I'm just going to plug in this $50 that my individual has to allocate towards a plan, and then hit Get Quote. And we're going to see a lot of different plans populate here, all with different face value amounts too. So you can see how much bang for their buck can they get for a face value amount. So you can see we have 12,000. I scroll through, we have a couple 11,000. You can really use that feature too to see which plan can get them the most face value for their dollar amount. Now we have a feature called our comparison feature. So this feature is very popular when you are wanting to send a quote over to a client, or maybe save a quote for your records. So all you have to do to start using the comparison feature is just highlight the company name. So you can see that it then turns the bar green, and then it puts that company in the upper left-hand corner of my screen here. So I can select up to 5 different companies to put into my compare quotes box. Another feature, let's say you are wanting to quote a husband and a wife and you want to send them one quote, maybe for Mutual of Omaha. What you can do is you can run the wife's quote first and then click on it and put it in the little box. Then I'm going to go ahead and run the male for the same information and then hit get quote. It will keep that female plan in that quote compare box in the upper left hand corner so I can start putting different quotes in there. So then let's say I find another plan for the male. We can still do the Living Promise plan for Mutual of Omaha. And then I can click on this compare quotes box and I can see these 2 plans side by side. I can see all of the different annual rates, semi, monthly, if there is an annual fee or not. So from there, I can either save this as a PDF or I can print it off. So that's how you can kind of do those different comparisons. A lot of times you can put different plans in there. So if you maybe were debating between a graded or a level, or again, you were wanting to send over a quote for a husband and wife, or maybe just send them a couple of different plan options. You can put up to 5 different plans in this quote compare box. And when you're done, you can just exit those and they will be removed from the tool. If you wanted to export all of the information, so export this entire quote results page, you can use the export feature, which would then send it to your printer, or you can download it as a PDF. So that would be your other option. If you wanted to compare more than 5 plans and you wanted just to show them everything, you can use that export feature and it will download to a PDF for you. You can open up this box here and you'll see here, it would have all of the information here for you. So again, really easy to navigate and compare those different plans. Just for demo purposes, I'll go ahead and show you some guarantee issue and what that looks like as well. So again, you can just change your underwriting type to guarantee, and you can view all of those guarantee issue plans. And then since I did do the all product types, underneath my product type, it does tell me what type of plan it is. So this is modified, return of premium, small pay, single pay option. So you can see that product type here if you did do all of them, or if you were just doing a level benefit plan. You can make those different changes at the top. So that is the quoting tool in a nutshell here. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back over to Bill or Joe if they want to go ahead and
yep.
have any questions.
That was perfect. We have this question box going the whole time, so agents are typing in questions, and then what we'll do, let me see how much time we have at the end, and then we'll ask some of these questions. We'll go back and forth a little bit if we have time. If not, we're going to answer every single person, like I said, either right now or right after 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, thank you so much. We're going to send out that email afterwards, and we'll give everyone the link to get access. Like I said, as long as you're set up with us, you are in. From your smartphone, from your laptop, desktop, whatever the case is. Imagine you're working, calling on these leads and prospects, or working on your book of business, and you're on the phone and they need a quick quote or underwriting assessment. Boom, answer in real-time fashion, and you can obviously get the app and you're done. So this makes things very, very easy. Game changer in the final expense space, okay? Joe is going to dive in right now. We're going to show everyone a little more about the tool, and then we have other platforms. So when you think of final expense, everything you need from these tools, sales platforms, CRM, website, quoters, $8 lead program with guarantees, yes, 20% guarantee. That means if you order our leads, right, think about this, and you don't sell at least 20%, our vendor is going to give you free leads until you hit the 20% number. That's unheard of, especially at $8 a lead. Okay, and there's no you don't say, okay, well, let's try it out and then we're going to pay you 40% commission. No, you get full commissions. Okay, remember, all of our contracts are IMO direct, so there's one layer and that's it. This isn't one of these MLM groups that you're used to seeing all of their marketing e-blasts and you come work with a team and meanwhile you're 15 levels below the GA. By the time you get a commission, okay, forget about renewals too. By the time you get a commission, there's 20 different hands in the pot. I've heard of some agents that aren't even the agent of record on the policies they're selling. That is crazy. So anyway, we're going to tell you like it is. Joe's going to jump in and show everyone on the call your way around the final expense experience. Joe, you there?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Real quick, a lot of agents have asked the question, how do I access this new quote engine? So the slide in front of you shows if you hover over the main LevinsonandAssociates.com menu, you'll see underneath the quote tab, you've got a couple options. I highlighted in yellow one that says new final expense quote engine. If you click there, you'll be brought to that quoting page. You basically click the blue button and then you're in, and you can actually run all different carriers. Another great question that came up was, if I'm only appointed with one final expense or two final expense companies, do I have the ability to look at additional options? Of course, you have access to the full quoting system. So you'll be able to see all the top companies and make sure that that carrier you're representing or suggesting is going to be the most competitive. So a lot of great options. And again, like Bill said, we'll send out the link in today's thank you email, so you can also access it directly from that email. So what I want to touch on now is another great resource and really kind of your home for everything final expense, and that's called the Final Expense Experience. We actually added this probably about 7 to 8 months ago on the main CarrieLevinson.com website. I just want to dive into some of the resources that are on here, because this is really your one-stop shop for final expense, whether it's product training, information, getting rates, getting brochures, getting training on different products, e-app training. A great question that came up was, are there actual training modules to walk through the different e-app or tele-app platforms that each carrier has? The answer absolutely is yes. Right inside this final expense experience, you can click on each carrier and also click on the training modules, which I'll dive into in a couple minutes. So what we've done here on that final expense experience is kind of broken down each carrier. It's important to know which one has level, modified, graded death benefit, the issue ages, the face amounts. Another great question was, well, how much death benefit can we apply for in the final expense world? And there are some final expense carriers that go up to 100,000. We have some that go all the way down, as little as $1,000 of coverage, depending on what that client's looking for. This guide will also show you whether face-to-face is required, if there's an e-application, tele-app, what are the underwriting niches based on the impairment, if it's part of that scholarship program, if credit cards are accepted. So a lot of great information to kind of look at each scenario as you're working through with that client to make sure you're going to the right company right out of the gate. So all that's available. We update that in real time. In fact, earlier this morning, we had some new updates come over, and the website's already been updated as of this morning. So that's a great resource to have to kind of know. Again, like Bill said, 20 carriers to choose from on that final expense portfolio. Another great tool built into that final expense experience are the sales scripts. And even if you've been selling final expense for years, I do hear from agents that say, hey, I used the fact finder, or I used one of the sales scripts, and it kind of helped me uncover some additional information that helped me kind of circle back and cross-sell down the road. So we'll be sending a link for all these. We've got 3 different sales scripts, whether it's an initial cold call or you're cross-selling from a different product, or maybe it's an annuity client, or maybe you've sold critical illness or cancer. There's all sorts of different approaches to be able to uncover new business. And these sales scripts will give you some great ideas on exactly how to do that. Another great thing that I think is especially important is a program we have called Legacy Safeguard. This is a really neat program. Of course, you have to be appointed with Levinson and Associates, but think of a marketing program specifically designed for final expense. So this is an all-in-one platform where there's even kits that we can send you. If you look at the top of the screen, there are CDs, DVDs, training modules, even little leave behind mailers. So if you happen to knock on someone's door and they're not home, you can leave behind a little flyer that talks about the Legacy Safeguard program. The neat thing about this, it doesn't cost you a penny. It doesn't cost the client anything. Just by being an active Levinson agent and getting your final expense appointment, you have access to the Legacy Safeguard program. Now, what this does is it comes with planning software. It also comes with, for the client, the ability to locate a estate planning attorney, discounts on funeral homes, on cost. They actually have someone, a actual office that will work with your client to negotiate the price of the funeral. So they know what caskets cost, they know what cremation should cost, and they'll work with the surviving beneficiaries of that policy to make sure that everything is in place, that they're not being overcharged. There's even discounts on gift baskets, flowers. They even have bereavement travel, grief counseling. So especially now, if you have someone who passes away and their beneficiaries are out of town, it can be pretty complicated, especially with all the COVID restrictions, to kind of help them travel to make sure that they're attending that funeral. They have all these resources available, and it costs you and the client absolutely nothing. So a great way to get your foot in the door with new prospects or existing clients. We even have some agents that when they sell a final expense policy, they say, by the way, I'm going to enroll you in this program. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps kind of those beneficiaries know what that insured wanted, whether they wanted cremation or a burial, and everything is in one spot. So it kind of simplifies the entire process for them. Definitely a great value. There's a mobile app they can access, and we'll send out a link this afternoon with some additional training. But if you're new to the final expense arena or a veteran, I think it's a great way to kind of uncover new sales. They even have a referral guide, which is awesome. I've had agents that have been selling final expense for 10 plus years say, hey, I read that referral guide and I actually uncovered 3 new clients. So if we looked at all the final expense sales, 60% of all the new business comes from referrals. So it's important to have something in place that kind of helps you uncover new referrals, and that guide will help you do just that. So really, really powerful tool. Definitely something you should take a look at. Also, Legacy Ammour, I think this is a must, whether you're selling final expense or traditional term or universal life or IUL. This is an awesome program. It is all cloud-based. Think of like a online safety deposit box, right? So clients typically have maybe more than one life insurance policy, multiple bank accounts. Who knows? Maybe they stash some cash underneath the bed or in the closet. And it's always difficult when someone passes away to kind of put all those pieces together. And the beneficiaries and surviving family members usually have to scramble to kind of figure out, where everything is. So what Legacy Ammour does is it's basically an online vault that's completely secure that allows that client to put all their information, all their financial documents, right into this simple program. And then when they pass away, their beneficiaries automatically receive an email that says, hey, here's where everything is. Here's how everything is spelled out. They have these bank accounts. They have these life insurance policies. So as a Levinson agent, you get access to this platform. Your clients can enroll, and it's custom branded to every single individual agent. So every time they log in, they're seeing your contact information, all of your resources. So whether it's that client or the beneficiaries after they've passed away, they'll actually have access to all the material. And there's a really, really neat thing built into this. They have proprietary algorithms that actually track to find out when that client's passed away. And they use a great example of someone who's traveling overseas and there's no electronic pings on their credit cards or any of their information. If that system, that software they use, sees very little to no activity, they'll actually check that Social Security death index. And if they verify someone's passed away, they'll automatically notify the beneficiary. So even if the beneficiaries have no idea that that client has Legacy Ammour, they'll be notified and all that information will be in one spot for them. So definitely a must, a great way to kind of uncover new leads and new prospects by taking the approach of, hey, do you have something that puts all your assets and all your resources in one spot, so it's easy for those beneficiaries to kind of know exactly what you wanted and make sure that they get those assets and don't overlook anything. So awesome tool. We will send out the link this afternoon so you can check that out. We've got some great training videos and webinars that also cover the entire platform. Up next, I want to dive into one of our newer final expense lead platforms. When it comes to final expense, we've gone through and kind of vetted several different lead companies. And like Bill mentioned in the beginning, we found one that offers a 20% guarantee on all those final expense leads that you'd be purchasing. So a really, really great program. I'm actually going to dive right into how they work, how they're sourced, how the pricing is developed, and you will get a link this afternoon to access and order these specific leads. So we have really three different categories here. These are real-time leads, prospects that are ready to talk now. They are 100% exclusive, which is important. A lot of lead vendors sell their leads 2, 3, 4 times. They are double verified, which means when they're speaking to someone at the lead vendor, they get all their information, they verify it, they actually transfer them to another department to confirm all their details, that they are looking for life insurance and final expense. So it is a double verified lead. We do have great script training that's provided. I'll go over that in a couple slides. And what's really important is every single lead that you'll receive through this program comes with a recording of the phone call that that lead vendor produced. So you can actually hear that client that you're about to call speaking with that lead vendor, verifying their information, confirming that they're interested in the life insurance policy. So I'll start on the left-hand side here. We have callback leads. So this is a scenario where the lead vendor has had a conversation with the client and they've asked them, are you ready to talk to someone now to get coverage in place? And they said, well, I'm busy or I can't right now, but have them call me back tomorrow or the next day. So that's a callback lead. You can order those specifically by counties. So if you're looking, let's say in Palm Beach County, Florida, you place the order, all the leads you receive will be within Palm Beach County. The minimum is 20. If you order between 20 and 50 leads, the cost is $12 a lead. If you're ordering between 50 and 100 leads, that goes down to $11 a lead. And then if you're ordering over 100 leads, it's down to $10 a lead. And there are sample recordings, so you can kind of listen to all these calls and kind of uncover how they're actually sourcing the lead, which helps you when you're actually on the phone with that client. In the middle here, we have callback orders, which is the same exact thing as the first lead, except you can pick them on a state or national level. And the cost goes down significantly. So if you're ordering 20 leads, your cost is $12, 20 to 50, your cost is $10. And if you order between 50 and 100, it goes down to $9, and then $8 per lead if you're ordering 100 or more. So that's going to be your best value for those callback leads. I typically would say if you have a couple non-resident licenses, you can actually order multiple states and they'll be able to actually deliver that lead much faster than if you're just picking a specific county. On the far right-hand side here, we have live transfers. So these are those clients that have said, I'm ready to talk to someone now. Those are $25 per lead, and they do require, they have a couple non-resident states so they can make sure they fill that order within that 4 to 5 day time range. So between 20 and 50 leads, the cost is $25 each. And then between 50 and 100, it goes down to 23. And if you're ordering 100 or more, then that cost goes all the way down to $20 per lead. So great options. We also have Spanish speaking leads available if you're looking to order. So you can actually pick specific counties or states and receive only Spanish speaking leads. So it's a great way to kind of pick your market and make sure you're getting quality leads delivered to you really in real time with that live transfer program. So I want to talk a little bit about how these leads are sourced and then kind of what to expect once you place the order. So all these clients, these leads, they have all opted in to the program. So a lot of times you find lead vendors that uncover client information and they kind of just throw them into the lead batch. Every single one of these prospects has opted in, whether it's from seeing a television ad or getting an email or going online and seeing that banner, maybe even calling in. They've all requested to get more information about this. Then the call center actually reaches out, asks them if they can talk now, verifies their information. If they say, yes, I can talk to an agent right now, automatically that's a live transfer. They will then look and see, okay, what agent do we have available in this particular state for this particular lead? They'll then call you. And then once you're on the phone, they'll transfer that lead to you. Really important there. A lot of lead vendors will do a live transfer and leave a voicemail and charge the agent. That's not how this works. If they're able to get you on the phone, they can transfer you the lead and actually get that client on the phone, and that counts as one of those leads that you'd be paying for. If they request a callback, then that goes over to the callback category. Based on their county or state, it'll be routed to an agent that has ordered leads and is waiting for that lead to be delivered. So they've got a really neat system to kind of make sure that leads are delivered in a very timely order. You will receive in today's thank you email the link to actually order the leads. Once you order that lead, the vendor will actually invoice you within 24 to 48 hours. You're going to get an email with a link so you can actually pay for that lead order. Once you've paid for that lead order, leads typically become available within 1 week. That gives the lead vendor some time to actually start making calls in that requested county or state to make sure that they can fill that order for you. So we're getting leads on a daily basis, and it's been working out very, very well. We've heard some great things. What I really am impressed with is the 20% guarantee. So when you do order the leads, you're actually automatically sent the final expense training material. We've got several different videos. There's actually a video that goes in depth that discovers and kind of walks through how to make that final expense sale, what questions you should be asking. It actually goes through different sales pitches, and they have live recordings of the lead vendor actually working with clients to kind of make sure that they're selling the right policy and to show you how they've been able to sell multiple final expense policies to different types of clients and different death benefit amounts, so you know exactly what questions to ask. I think it's especially important if you're new to the final expense industry to kind of hear how some of those final expense gurus are actually making the sale. So really, really great resources there. In addition to that, once you complete the training, you'll actually take the final expense quiz. Once you're past that final expense quiz, you're eligible for that 20% guarantee. So a really neat system to kind of make sure that you're asking the right questions and selling the right product that'll help you lead to that 20% guarantee. In addition to that, we also have some telesales training series, which we actually came out with right before the pandemic hit. So the timing was pretty good there, but you can learn all the top secrets of direct marketers to kind of make sure you're uncovering more sales. We have a successful general agent that jumped on a webinar with us that actually talks about how they do everything virtually. So what programs to use, what systems to use, and you can watch those videos in real time. So a lot of great resources to make sure you're set up for success on those final expense leads, including a lot of these different resources that we have on the website. We've got quite a few different lead programs. We put together something called LevinsonLeadProgram.com. This has every single lead program that's available, whether it's final expense leads, mortgage protection leads, annuity leads. Everything is available, even our orphan lead program. Everything is available. So if you check out LevinsonLeadProgram.com, you'll have access to every single one of those platforms. You can learn more detail and actually request access to those specific lead programs. The next thing I want to talk about is tracking leads. So I think it's really important to understand that 80% of all sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. And I think, we hear that number quite a bit, that statistic. And what I want to go over is a specific platform that's going to help you follow up on every single one of these prospects and leads. And that's our Agency Automator CRM platform. So this was really built from the ground up for insurance agents to market, prospect, and uncover new sales specifically for the insurance agent. So not only does it house all of your clients, all your prospects, it actually will hold all their policy numbers, a history of your conversation. If you sent them different quotes, it'll have all that information embedded as well. And it will also have all of your client details. So it's going to have things like policy anniversary, conversion deadline, what their birthday is. So all that is available for you in real time. What a lot of agents are doing is they're putting in and tracking their leads through the Agency Automator platform. So since your leads are delivered in an Excel format, you can actually upload those directly to the CRM platform and then set follow-ups and note every single one of your sales conversations. So it'll show you how many clients are actually moving to application, which ones have opened your email, which ones have kind of fallen off, and you can set up multiple follow-up events to make sure that you're capitalizing on every single lead. And also built into the platform is an email marketing system where you can actually email market and kind of prospect on different products. And then we also have a prospecting database where you can actually access local prospects based on zip code, date of birth, net worth, annual income. So it's a great way to stay in touch with all your clients and actually uncover new leads. So if you're not using Agency Automator, I highly recommend it. You'll actually be able to write more business and follow up on clients much faster by using this sort of automated system.
Okay, good stuff, Joe. So I know that's a lot of information. In your head, it's probably spinning by now. But just keep in mind, if you walk away with a couple of nuggets, or, you want to start using, I mean, the quoting tool and underwriting tool is a no-brainer. I mean, that if you want to play in this space, you have to have that at your fingertips. The lead program, great. Legacy Ammour, Legacy Safeguard, great. We have so many different types of agents from every state in the country, 18 years old to literally in their early 90s. So we need a little something for everyone. And it's my job and our team's job to go out and find everything that works, right? And go vet these different platforms and lead programs. And if it works, we're going to be the first one to bring this to you all. Okay. And if you want to use 3 tools or 7 or all 28, great. It's okay. No problem. The only thing we ask, if you're active with us, you're in. It's that simple. And we're not stopping here, right? If there's something new, and I said it already in the beginning of this training, there's something new that comes out product-wise, carrier-wise, technology, we're going to roll it out, okay? And I promise you that. And if there's something that sneaks by us, let me know. And if it's good, we vet it, we'll also bring that tool to the platform as well. Okay, now this is a no-brainer, okay? And I know you've heard me talk about this, but there's some new changes, new colleges in the program. And if you're a health insurance agent, right, and let's just say you're cross-selling with final expense or guaranteed issue, this is just one of those value-add platforms that your clients, they're going to think you're Superman or Superwoman when you tell them, hey, your grandchildren can get 1 free year tuition at Lynn University in Boca or Bradley University in Illinois, okay? It doesn't cost you, the agent, anything. It doesn't cost the client anything. It's just a value add by working with Levinson, and it's a value add by that consumer working with you, okay? It's that simple, and it's very easy now. In fact, on your Insure Me Now Direct site or your website, if you send your client there, once they buy a qualifying carrier or product, you send them to your site. It says scholarship. It's self-enrolled. They click a button. They put in their basic info. Boom. They're enrolled in the program. And that's it. Next thing you know, you're going to start to get referrals, and they're going to start calling you to say, hey, Bill, I want to do my annual policy review. Why? Because they're getting 500 more points in their account. That's $500 for every referral and every policy review. And think about this for a second. Let's say with Gerber, okay, they're a qualifying carrier, right? Let's say you were with Gerber with another IMO, one of our competitors, for 7 years, and you have a big book of business there, and you just transferred over to us because you wanted to get better service and make more comp, right? You can give the free scholarship to not just your new client that you just signed up with Gerber, but to all of your past clients. Okay, think about that for a second. You can call every single policy holder and say, Bob, Susie, Mary, great news. Okay, I know you bought this policy from me 6.5 years ago, right, in May, but since I'm now a Sage Levinson agent, I can give you 1 year free tuition for your children or for your grandchildren, okay? Doesn't cost you anything. Go to my website, click here, you're in, done. And by the way, Bob, if you send me anybody that's also interested in this, you get another 500 points. And also, Bob, every year on your policy anniversary, call me, and I give you another 500 points. And guess what? Every time the client logs into their account, they see your name. Bob, the local life insurance agent in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, with your logo, okay? How great is that? All for free. So, and you probably say to yourself, how the hell are they doing this? There's got to be some small print. Is this legal? Blah, blah, blah. Well, the answer is, how are we doing this? Levinson pays this every month to Sage. Sage is the company that put this together, and they guarantee a certain number of admissions for every single college that's in the program. So it's a win-win-win across the board. We pay for it. You take advantage of it for free. It's that simple. I don't know how else to explain it. It started with Wells Fargo, right? They used to give this to their investment clients. So we looked at it and said, why can't we do this with life insurance? Anyway, that's the long story short. Here we are today, over 400 colleges. We have 4 in our backyard, right, in South Florida. So very cool stuff. Another value add by working with us. Now let's move forward to agent training events. That's what you're on right now. These are important. I feel like you always have to feed your brain, just like putting gas in your car, right? You want to constantly learn, right? And if there's a topic that you like or want to learn more about, then jump on. Every single day of the week, we host these live trainings with Kevin, our programmer, and this has to do with our technology platforms. And then on the bottom, we have that Legacy Ammour standing training every Wednesday if you want to learn more about that. On the 8th, we have new annuity sales tools. Again, we're also a first on the annuity side. Okay, you're going to see stuff you've never seen before. We have a new software platform for annuity sales that will blow your mind. And again, free, as long as you're active with us. Done. On the bottom, opening doors to the big ticket cases and business owner clients. That's a totally different conversation, okay? These are cases where you walk away with 30, 40, 70, 80, $120,000 of target premium, okay, or commissions on one sale. So that obviously is totally different than final expense, but if you want to learn more, again, we have some really cool, innovative platforms for that space as well. Okay, let's move forward here. Enough of my ranting. We're just about done, and we're going to have our question of the day. Now, you talk about the coffee bean, right? You want to all be a coffee bean, especially after listening to my little story earlier in this training. So Don Wilson, author of What's Your Whoopee? It's a book on Amazon. He was also a TED Talks featured speaker twice, and he's also been on some local news channels. He is a great life coach, okay? And here's what I like about Don. He talks all about change and how to change and why it's so important to change and what's his take, right, on dealing with a pandemic and how you need to feed your brain with positivity. So anyway, I interviewed him for 1 hour on last month's Bill Levinson Experience podcast. Take a look at that episode. Listen, please, and I want to know your thoughts. If you leave a comment on Apple iTunes or Pandora or on YouTube or on our Facebook page, I send you one of our latest IUL sales prospecting books, okay, on me. So anyway, check that out. I have another big one coming up in December that you're going to love. Every single month, I have a different featured guest speaker, and every one of them brings something new to the table. Ultimately, that will help you walk away with nuggets that will change your life on the personal side and on the business side. Some have to do with life insurance. Some have nothing to do with life insurance. One of them is my mentor, who's a Forbes 400 billionaire, self-made. Okay, he's got a great story, but check it out. I'd love to hear your feedback and see what I can do different and maybe bigger and better for you all. Okay, of course, free once again. Okay, last slide here. And what I want to do real quick is talk about my Positive Tuesday quotes, which is all over our social media pages. It means nothing, folks, but it's just an example, right? It's like, don't listen to me talk, just watch what we do. Watch our actions. You should be doing the same thing on social media. Positive Tuesday is just another day. I come out with a quote every single Tuesday. This was this past Tuesday. 2020 is not the year to get everything you want. It is the year to appreciate everything you have, right? It's all about gratitude. It's impossible to have a crappy day when you have gratitude. Think about that for a second. It makes sense. Let's all be the coffee bean. Let's transform during 2020. We're almost out of it, folks. Okay, our question of, oh, you know what? Before I ask the question, I want to make sure if you saw one of our carriers and you say, oh my gosh, you know, I want to be with you guys, but I'm already tied in with another IMO and you want to move over to us. So we match or most of the time beat your commissions. Plus we give you cash or free leads with your first app. So we make it, again, a win-win-win across the board. We're going to include those coupons in today's thank you email. You'll see in your inbox. But anyway, I think that's important to know. And sometimes you don't even need a release. So we can work that out with you as well. So our question of the day. Okay, I hope your little fingers are on the keyboard ready to rock and roll because it's about to come out right now. How many final expense and guaranteed issue carriers does Levinson offer you all with direct IMO contracts? What is the magic number? How many final expense and guaranteed issues do we have? We mentioned it 2 or 3 times during the last 1 hour presentation. Whoever answers first wins an Amazon $50 gift card just in time for Hanukkah, New Year's, and Christmas. Joe, do we have a winner?
We do. Timothy L. from Michigan.
Timothy L. The answer is 20. Congratulations. With that said, have a great rest of the week, a great holiday season, right? And remember the coffee bean story. Take care and thanks again.